News Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. TESDA says that 8 out of 10 graduates of their skills training program managed to get hired off the bat. TESDA Deputy Director General John Bertiz III said that TESDA graduates are able to find jobs both here and abroad. The agency now wants to improve its language training to help graduates who are seeking overseas employment. TESDA also wants better coordination with industry partners in order to improve their curriculum and address job mismatch.
Napakataas din po ng percentage ng ating mga employment rate. Sumasampa na po tayo sa 86% lahat po ng graduate ng TESDA ay nakakakuha na po ng trabaho hindi lamang dito sa ating bansa pati na rin po sa ibang bansa. Yung pagbalangkas po ng ating mga kurso na ino-offer sa ating mga learner, ito na yung mga pangangailangan ngayon ng industry, hindi lamang dito sa ating bansa pati na rin po sa ibang bansa.
House lawmakers have started plenary debates on the bill creating the Maharlika Investment Fund. Marian Enriquez with the report.
The period of sponsorship and debate of the bill creating the Maharlika Investment Fund has begun at the House plenary. Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries Chairman Erwin Tieng stood as the sponsor.
As the Philippines secures its place not only as the rising star of Asia, but as a real economic leader in the Asia-Pacific, the creation of the MIF becomes imperative. Considering the foregoing, the immediate approval of this bill to create the Maharlika Investment Fund is earnestly recommended.
The MIF bill has undergone a series of amendments amid public criticism. Penal provisions that prescribe jail time and fines for violators of MIF guidelines have also been added.
Acts of gross negligence, willfully misconduct, fraud, or actions in breach of any investment agreement result in a loss suffered by the fund shall be liable.
Other major changes include the removal of pension funds as sources to be replaced by the central bank dividends. Instead of the president, the finance chief will sit as chairman of the MIF board. House Senior Deputy Minority Leader Paul Daza, who earlier opposed the MIF, now supports the bill.
Umiral po ang demokrasya. Nagpapasalamat po ako na ito pong latest version is a much better version, and I would like to manifest that I intend to vote yes.
When asked about assurance on the return of investments, Tieng had this to say.
Of course, everything naman, lahat ng investment will magkakaroon po yan ng review under the advisory board and the risk management unit and of course the board of directors. And they will determine kung yung yield na yon is higher. So if higher, they will invest.
The latest version of the MIF bill also states that there will be 4 independent directors from the private sector. But Bagong Henerasyon Party List Representative Bernadette Herrera wants to add one more.
I'm happy with the 4. Pero ultimo yung ating SEC ang nagsasabi na ang usual or ang practice natin is 1/3. So that's increasing 1 at least. Baka pwedeng minimum is 1/3 to also comply with the SEC rules.
Tieng said he will bring up the recommendation to the bill's authors. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
One News Now will be back with more stories after this short break. Keep it here. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Philippines' trade gap narrowed in October on the back of a surprise growth in exports. Export sales grew 20% year-on-year to $7.7 billion in October. This was driven by increased shipments of electronics, the country's top export product. Meanwhile, imports posted a tempered growth in October at 7.5%. The total trade in October is valued at $18.7 billion, up 12% from last year. Meanwhile, the trade deficit posted an annual decrease of 13.5% to $3.3 billion. However, some economists believe that the growth in exports is just temporary amid the expected slowdown in import shipments. And critics claim that Indonesia's new sex laws pose a major setback to freedoms in the country. Let's get more details in this video from Bloomberg.
A major setback to freedoms in Indonesia. That's what critics are calling the country's new criminal code that bans extramarital sex. Under the law, sex outside of marriage will be punished with 1 year in prison. Unmarried people living together could face up to 6 months. The bill also penalizes abortion and restricts the rights of LGBTQ+ people. But that's not all. The criminal code also calls for up to 3 years in prison for insulting the president and vice president. Journalists can face up to 2 years of imprisonment for publishing, quote, incomplete stories. The law applies to both Indonesian citizens and foreigners and will be enforced across the country, including in Bali. However, Indonesia's government says foreign visitors shouldn't worry about getting prosecuted for having sex outside of marriage. They say police will only take action if there's an official complaint made by direct family members such as parents, children, or spouses. This legislation sparked violent protests across the country when it was first introduced in Parliament in 2019. It's part of a broader legal overhaul trying to remove an existing penal code dating back to the 1800s when Indonesia was under Dutch occupation. President Joko Widodo still needs to sign off on the bill, which he's expected to do. Then there's a 3-year transition period until the law is fully in place. But at the end of the day, this does signal the growing influence of Indonesia's conservative Muslim voters.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The National Telecommunications Commission, or NTC, is reminding subscribers to register their SIM cards to avoid losing access to their mobile numbers. Under the SIM Card Registration Act, which will take effect on December 27, subscribers have 180 days to register their SIM cards. Registration may also be extended for a maximum of 120 days. A Manila court has allowed activist Reyna Menasino and 2 others to post bail. The court approved the bail petition after the prosecution failed to provide strong evidence against the 3. Nasino's case garnered attention after she lost her 3-month-old daughter while in detention. And Tropical Storm Rosal has now weakened into a low-pressure area. This LPA was last spotted some 1,020 kilometers east of extreme northern Luzon. Pag-asa says it is expected to dissipate in the next 24 hours. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.